You probably just started the game. Pro players probably find you annoying. You either started a few minutes ago or a long time ago. You're getting SSB2 and you're making no progress. You have no idea why you bought this. You prefer eat range over speed. You also have no idea why you bought this. You prefer eat speed over range. You probably like the color red. You love eating wolves. You love grinding with pro players. You think you're a good player for some reason. You only grind rock noobs. You only like doing SSB1 speedruns. You're too lazy to do anything, so you make this pet do everything for you. You spend all your time in public servers. You are probably a small Crimson Moon server hopper. You like trolling random public servers. You feel weird because nobody uses this pet. You probably like the color blue. You feel like you're making no progress in the game. You like to macro. You are probably a big Crimson Moon server hopper. You think you're way better than you actually are. You spend most your time in private servers. New players annoy you. You like to grind 24/7s. You probably like the color purple. You value coins way more than bytes. You really like to macro. You really like golden noobs. You're getting tired of grinding. You love to macro, and it's getting concerning. Nobody wants to grind with you. You feel like you beat the game, which you know you haven't. You love to macro so much that you do it 24/7s, and only updates satisfy you. You've finally gotten this pet, and you know all there is left to do is macro for the rest of eternity. The UWU sound drives you crazy? You either macro 24/7s or you don't touch grass. Everyone wants to negative coin grind with you. You like pumpkins and the pet in general. Although you like it, you probably never use it. You only have this to own all Christmas pets, and you only use it when you need bombarder eggs. You either feel super vulnerable all the time or you like to do SSB1. You only use this for a few presents and elf noobs. You like the 2x eat speed buff while eating burgers, so you find this pet quite good. You use this for a lot of presents and Santa noobs. You probably like blowing up public servers. You either like inspirational speeches or you like calling people noobs. You either feel extremely vulnerable all the time or you really like to do SSB1. You really like the high eat speed, and it's probably your only friend. You're probably emo. You really love trolling public servers. You are looking for Raffy noobs. You probably like how the pet looks. You most likely have cracked mode. You probably took a long time to get this. You probably didn't realize you could get nasty noobs from the toilets until after April Fools. You probably got this and never used it, because everyone can agree this pet is useless. You probably like bike grinding, but forgot this existed. You probably only use this for a few extra bytes. You probably only use this to get more eggs and 4 SSB1. You use this for extra pull speed. You probably play TSB. You probably use this for a bit of extra bytes. You probably don't have Supron Chick. This pet is probably the most useless pet in the game. You probably only bought this to test out cookies. You're probably not sure why you bought this. You might like balloons. You probably only bought this to help you get Party Pedro. You might like cake. You most likely grind alone. You're probably mad that Ball nerfed this pet a lot. You probably only use this during King Noob events. You probably only use it during King Noob events, but depending on your skill level, it might be your main pet. You probably like bike grinding. You might use this when using nasty eggs. You probably really like bike grinding. You love destroying house grinds. You probably bought these pets because you saw they were available. or you're searching for Sigma Bloxia noobs. You bought this pet for nasty grinding. You probably think this pet is awesome. You probably are a noob. You might be a mid-player who uses this pet with cracked mode. You probably try to join Bull every time he's in a game. You use this to get Bull keep out. You probably always say "Gone to game working." You use this to get Bull keep out. You probably can't decide which developer to love more, so you use this pet. It's a decent pet, so you might actually use it a lot. You don't really have a point to use this besides a speed boost. You probably use this because you like dogs, or because this pet is jacked. You probably value bites more than coins. You most likely don't have Supreme Chick. You probably like clowns. You're probably depressed. You're probably one of the first people to play the game. You probably like Bloxy Colas. You're also one of the first people to play the game. You're probably one of the only players who can spawn biggest noobs. Once again, you're probably one of the first players. You have one of the most stripped pets and you know it. You were the first person to reach 1 meter. Congrats, you absolute legend. You really like diamond noobs. You are most likely Joshua 9994L. Congrats on the pet. You really like dark noobs. You are most likely Sallymux 2023. Congrats on this pet. You are a god at the game. You really like amethyst noobs. You are most likely Raffy Boy to 4. Congrats on the pet. You really love trolling test place public servers. You are most likely Yours 19. Congrats for the pet. You are probably really good at making sane fun art. You probably really like Bloxy Colas. You probably wish he had arms. You are probably on the leaderboard. You are a god at bike grinding. You are probably a pyrotechnic. You might like TF2. You are most likely CorruptedUnknown. Congrats on the pet. You're a god at blowing up servers. You are overpowered. You really like emerald noobs. You are overpowered. You really like ruby noobs. You're probably a god at SSB1. You most likely have the word pass. You really like to macro. You like blowing up servers. You love to macro, and it's getting concerning. You really like blowing up servers. You probably really like ducks. You probably really like the free eat speed, even when unequipped.